Hi Flosstubies, it's Lori. Welcome back. I'm so glad you stopped by today. If you are a new subscriber, this channel is about cross stitch and quilting sometimes and scrapping sometimes and whatever craft I'm working on at the time. Happy summer, everyone. I am melting here. I'm doing this pretty early in the morning because it's going to get too hot today to really do much of anything. A ton of stuff has happened since we last talked. I had a retreat here at my house, which I do every year during the Sisters Quilt Show, outdoor quilt show. And the previous week before the quilt show is called Quilt Week, and there's classes and stuff that go on here in Sisters. And there's a garden show and a couple other things like a quilt walk and that sort of thing. Anywhoosie, I have a group of ladies that have come down here, I think since 2015, minus the years of the pandemic. And they are from my quilt guild in Washington, the Washington Stars Quilt Guild. And we get together and sit and sew and stitch and quilt and eat a lot and just have a grand old time. So I'll be throwing up some pictures from that and talking a little bit about that. I have a little bit of stitching to show you. I haven't done a whole lot in the past month. I did have a couple weeks that I took to get ready for the retreat here. And I made a lot of swag stuff for the people that come to visit. And so my stitching isn't actually a whole lot. However, right here you can see these are my whips. So I thought I would do a mid-year whip parade. I saw that Carol Saltbox did one, and then I saw that Olivia B posted one, and it's like, yeah, I need to do that. Mine is a mid-year one, but I didn't do one at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, and so it's probably been quite a while since I did a whip parade. So this will be a great time for me to kind of revisit all of my stitches and kind of make a determination what I'm going to do from this point forward through the end of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and let's see, what are we going to talk about first? Excuse me, my throat is already dry and I've just started. Sorry about that. I had to pause. I had a sneezing, coughing fit. Okay, so getting ready for the quilt retreat, I always put together some type of swag for my ladies that come to visit. And this year, what I decided to do, because I was making a lot of those open up pouch bags by Mickey Kim, and I made ones without zippers. So I made 6 or 7 of these, and they turned out really cute. These are all from my scraps. And so everyone at every station had one of these. And then during the retreat, when everybody was quilting, I was kind of not having a quilting bug going on at the time. So I decided to make some accoutrement to put in my bag. And I made this pincushion. And I made this cute little bag to put my clips in, and it just clips on the side here. And so this turned out really cute. I also, for swag, I gave them, these are called pressing tools. I don't remember the company that I bought them from, but if you're interested, I can put them down online. But I did use this one quite a bit, and it was great because I could open up a seam and get an iron really close. These are silicone, so they're not going to burn. These would also be great for scrapbooking, I can tell, but everyone got some of these. And they also got some magic clips. These are like the little red clips here, except they're flat so that you can sew over them. And then they all got some pins. So I was real busy working on that, trying to get all that together, and of course get beds made and you know, just general cleaning the house and getting things set up. So I'll put a couple pictures up here of what things look like set up and as people were starting to arrive. So my friend Barb, who lives in Sun City, Arizona, she came up a week or so early, and we get together when she comes to visit. We get together with my friend Linda and Kate. And Linda has a Patreon. I'll put that information down below. We also scrap with them. So we got together and did some scrapping, and I don't have everything in front of me, but Linda and Kate both brought us little goodies. This was from, I think I have stuff from Linda in here too, but there's this cute little box that Kate made, and she put our initials on it, and it's like a little matchbox, and then it was full of goodies and all sorts of little ephemera and tags and things that we put in our doodads. And then this was also in there, and it's like it's just a pretty. And then there was a little notebook thing. So that was super, super cute. She found these, the whole set. It's actually a Halloween set, even though this one doesn't look like Halloween. But she found the whole set and put them together the night before for the 4 of us. She said that, you know, once she got everything cut out, that it went together really cute. So that's what that looks like. So she brought that as a gift. And then what we made was this. It's called One Sheet Wonder. It's made out of a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And oh, I have it upside down. And mine's not finished yet. I haven't done the closing. But it opens up. Has a notebook thing. And then it has a little tie thing here, and then it opens up here and pulls down here. So like I said, mine's not done, and boy, these are hard to kind of show. And then there's also a place to put something right in here. So that was really fun. We always have a good time when we get together, and so we did that while Barbara's here a little bit early. And that was so much fun. I'm looking forward to finishing that. I like doing these things because they're great little thank you gifts that are easy and fun to put together. And they're just a little bit out of the norm of what you might normally send as a card. So that was getting ready for the retreat. Sorry, words are hard today. So we did a retreat. I think we finished... Not me personally. I think there were 3 quilts that were finished during the retreat. Barb finished 2 and Carol finished 1. And then Barb also brought for show and tell her challenge quilt, which was an RBG quilt, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which was a challenge that we did last year. She was the only one who finished the challenge, and the quilt was stunning. So I will put a picture of it up here. And so we did the retreat. We ate a lot of food. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw postings of food every night. I'm sure I gained some weight. I don't want to get on the scale. I don't want to know. But we did a lot of great food. And then on Saturday, we all went to the quilt show early in the morning because it was going to be a hot day, and it was a great show. again and came back, and most everyone left on Sunday except for Barb. She left that Wednesday. So that took up about 2.5 of the weeks that I've been gone. And let's see, what else do I have on my list? I have a list here, otherwise I will forget. We did the show. Naughty Kittens. So, little life update. You all know I have a pair of sisters, litter mates, some kittens. They're about 7 months old now. And right after the ladies left, they were out and it got dark and I couldn't get them to come in. They didn't want to come in. I finally got Izzy in about midnight, and I was just fretting and worrying about them both being out at night because it's been so hot, going out when it's later in the afternoon or early evening when it's cooler. They like being out then. But I could not get Fiona to come in. So she ended up spending the entire night outside. Very naughty kitty. And then I woke up like, I don't know, maybe 4:30 or 5, and she was out on the deck, and I got her in. And she went, and they like to sleep under my bed where it's cool. So she went and laid down to go to sleep, and she did not get up the entire day. She was so worn out, and I'll put a picture up here of what she looked like. She was like, "No, Mom, no, I don't want to get up." Anyway, and actually right now they got grounded, so they could not go out the next day. And according to what I looked up online, they're at the teenager phase right now. They are totally at the teenager phase. But my neighbor texted me yesterday. We have rattlesnake season, so we have rattlesnakes here in Central Oregon in the high mountain desert. And he said they had found one on the doorstep yesterday. So it's time for them to stay in for a while so they don't go poke their nose in a place where it shouldn't be and get hurt. So they're both inside. They're really not liking it. They love to play outside, but it's better safe than sorry. Anyway, so that's a kitten update. I picked up something I wanted to share with everyone. When Lisa and I went to the class at Acorns and Thread with Rebecca Noland, and we stuffed acorns, and she had this batting, the stuffing that I had never seen before, and it worked really, really well. So I've been hunting for it, and I finally found it. The batting is Morning Glory cluster stuff. Cluster fiber. It's a little bit different. I generally don't use poly, but this is different stuff, and I think it's made particularly for dolls and things. But when you look at it, it's like little bitty pearls, little bitty balls of stuffing, and so you don't have to fluff it, and it stuffs really wonderfully. And so I really liked it a lot, and Rebecca told us what it was, so I found it. This is it. If you want to give it a try, I think it will be wonderful for doing the corners and that sort of thing for pen pillows. So, and this should last me for the rest of my life, because that's what I would use it for, is just the corners, and then just little tiny things. If you're doing tiny stuff, you can use that to stuff with. So that was something I wanted to share with everyone. While Barb was here, we did do a little bit of shopping, and I thought I would share some haul with you. Yet another quilt store is going out of business. It's one in Lapine, Oregon, which is about an hour away from me. So Barb and I went out there to check it out. They're still in the process of liquidating their inventory, and I do think they take online orders. So right now, I believe everything is 30% off. And the store's called Homestead Quilts in Lapine, Oregon. I picked up a few things. I picked up this yukata. These are all, oh, sorry about the glare. These are indigo prints type fabrics, and I also got some matching fabric I think I'm going to do a Japanese inspired bag with this. So picked that up. And then I also, during this time period, picked up a couple of Laura Heine. So she's a quilt artist and she does collage quilts. So I got Black Cat for the upcoming season, and I want to do these for my studio. And these are, this is Teeny Tiny Collage Patterns Group 5. And it has the machine, the pin cushion, and the dress form. These are super cute. If you've never seen a Laura Heine, just go on the internet and look up her quilts. They're really, really cool looking. So that was some haul. The other thing I received was the last Stacy Nash Pin Keep drum from the Country Girl Sampler Girls Club. And it's called Oakleaf Manor. And this is the end of that club. I was thinking, okay, it says this is the 4th. I thought I had 4. I cannot find the 4th one. All I can find is 3. So I have to look through all of my stuff again. There we go. That's beautiful. I love that we got an autumn one. I think this was the second one. Wonderful Life Pin Keep drum. That was the second. I think that's the one that most everyone is familiar with. And the third one was Big Blue House Pin Keep drum. That's what the back of that one looks like. And this is the pedestal. So they're big. The drums are really big. This is the pedestal that came with the club. And for those of you who are interested, I don't know if you can still get this, but mine still has the tag on it. So I thought I would show you that if you were looking for the pedestal, that's where that was purchased. I didn't purchase it. It came like that. So for some reason, I'm thinking the other one had like a willow and a house. I can't remember what it looks like, and I could not find it. So I'll hunt that down, and probably the one I will get started on first is this one. But as you can see, I have a lot going on right now, so I don't know when that's going to get started. So that's my haul for the time period. Pretty good for me. I've really been cutting back on my purchases and trying to go shopping in my stash because I have a pretty good stash to shop in. So I'm going to get some things cleared off here, and I'll be back uno momento. Alrighty, before we get started on this massive whip parade, I will show you what I have been stitching on. This is a sampler called Roses for Ruby, and it's one I'm doing in honor of my maternal grandmother, and I did get a little bit more done. I got the second bouquet done over here, and I've gotten some progress on the center motif. This is being done on, let me make sure I'm telling you correctly. This is being done on weeks 36 count Aspen. This is the old weeks. And I really like this color. It's a very nice neutral color. And I am doing it with my own conversion of mostly Victoria Motto sampler threads. Now, I did pull the called for threads on this one, or the DMC, and I matched them up to the Victoria Motto and made some adjustments when necessary. But that is what I have been stitching on. I'm hoping to finish this before the end of next month, which would be my grandmother's 99th, would have been my grandmother's 99th birthday. So that is what I have been stitching on. And this is the chart. This is my working copy, and it is a Scarlet House. So that's the extent of my cross stitching. You saw the scrapping that I did and the sewing that I did. Before we get started on the whip parade, I did have 2 giveaways from last video, And I'm going to announce them here because of the troll situation that has been plaguing a lot of the floss tubers. I'm going to announce it, so I hope that the winners are listening, or that if you know the winners, let them know. And then what you'll need to do is contact me using the email in the description box below, and I will send me your address and I will get these out in the mail to you. So the first giveaway was Zavery Hearn, a Spanish sampler. These were both gifted to me by Wendy from the Heart Needle Arts for keeping or giving away, and I'm giving away a couple of them. So this one here goes to Daylene Wilkinson. So congratulations, Daylene, and I hope you're watching today, and drop me a line, give me your address, and I will get that out in the mail to you. So congratulations, Daylene. The next one, and I'm gonna have to put my glasses on because I can't even read my own writing. The next one is Tokens of Love. I almost kept this one, but it's so pretty. They're both so pretty. But I'm gonna give this one away. It's Linda Spost. You won this one. And so again, just drop me a line in the email address below and send me your address, and I will send this out to you. So the question that I asked everyone to answer was, what was your favorite 4th of July picnic food? And there was a lot of good ones. By far, the most the one that most people posted or answered with was potato salad. So, and my mother makes fabulous potato salad and fabulous macaroni salad. I've never quite gotten it to the level that she makes hers. So potato salad was very popular, followed up by corn on the cob. There was a couple of fruit pizzas and ice cream in there, but potato salad, hands down, was the winner of the most favorite food for 4th of July picnics. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and get started with this mid-year whip parade. I have absolutely no idea how long this is going to take. It could be a very long video. I may have to divide it up into 2. I hope not. I believe I'm going to be doing some heavy editing, so I'm going to try to edit out the zipping and unzipping and fumbling and all of that to make it a little bit shorter. I will probably kind of divide it up into seasons and then samplers. The ones that are hanging up, this is kind of how I store things that I am currently working on, and that is a loose term that means I might, pick it up in the next year type of thing, or things that are maybe samplers that I don't want to have scrunched up in a bag. Down here, let's see if I can do that. Down here are 2 containers, and they're completely full of bags, and those bags are completely full of projects. And I don't usually keep it on this. I'm using this for purposes of doing the Flosstube. Most of this sits in a closet in my spare room. So let's see. I think we'll start with summer right now. So, oh boy, I know this is going to be an event. Let's see. Okay, the first one is one I actually did get a little bit of work done on this too. You can see my needle still in it. I've been taking this one to Stitch Group. And this is Summer at Cherry Hill by With I Needle and Thread. There's my working chart. And here's my progress. And this one is being stitched on, do I have it on here? I know it's I do not. I know it's a lakeside, but it's not a lakeside that you normally see. I don't have the color right in front of me, so if I remember it or I find it, I will put it right down below. So that is number 1. So what I'd like you guys to do is count them with me because I'm curious. I don't know how many I have. I'm guessing a lot. So that's number one. Number two, we'll see if I can keep that number counting up. Number two is a stitch by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This is Mary Amelia's bird. And this is my progress. I'm very close. I really should just finish this. This is being done using the called for colors, and it's on a, let's see, is this the call for colors? Yeah, this is it, Mary Amelia's bird. They are DMC, and then I am stitching this on a hand die of my own, and I believe it's a 36 count. And I intend for this to go into my bedroom. Okay, so was that, nope, I've got one more summer one. So this is a stitch along that I'm doing with a group of friends, the ladies that we call the Castle House Retreat Ladies. This is, the new Plum Street is called Summer Moon. And this was a recent release, and I'm stitching this, well, I started stitching this on a 36 count stitch by XJU Designs. And I really like this color, but I'm leaning towards restarting it because you can see I have such a massive start on it. I'm leaning towards doing it on this 36 count Fox and Rabbit. Here are the colors. Let me know what you think. So here are the colors against the Fox and Rabbit. And here are the colors with the XJU design. And the reason I'm doing the blue is, of course, it has a moon, and you don't see the moon unless it's nighttime. So I'm thinking of a large moon over, the twilight, or, the nighttime sky. Speaking of which, I'm going to put a couple pictures. Sorry, I'm going to need to cut my bangs. Speaking of which, we recently had a fantastic full moon over the canyon. I'm going to put a couple pictures up here of what the full moon looked like. So I'm going to do more than one picture. So one is one night and one is the next night. And the full moon was technically in between those two nights. But it was so pretty. It was so bright. And it was a super moon. So I'm going to put those up there. So either the XJU or the Fox and Rabbit. They're both 36 count. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. All right, so that's it for what was hanging up. The next set is what I have in bags. And the first one up is another Plum Street. And this is called Always Remember. It has the beautiful poppies. And I'm doing this on a 36 count eucalyptus, which I believe is the called for. And this is my progress. Here are the flosses. I am using the called for flosses as well. So that's number 4. After that, another Plum Street. This is called Peace, Love, and Purpose. And this is being done on, oh gosh, do I have, oh good, I have the tag. This is being done on a Picture This Plus 36 count Wren. I don't have a whole lot going on that one. I have the flag, and I am using the called for colors. So that is number 5. I'm totally going to mess this up, so you guys are going to have to keep me honest. Let's see, I have a whole stack of bunny ones here. What else do I have for that's just summer? This is, an August wordplay. So this is Brenda Gervais. I don't have the cover, I don't think. Let me look. Oh, I do have the cover. Okay. So this is an August August Wordplay by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And this is on a mystery linen. I don't think I have this written down. And this is my progress. This looks like it's a piece of linen off of a cut off of something else. And I am using the Call for Colors. These take an enormous amount of colors, but they are very pretty. The next one is, some of these are going to be surprising to me. Oh, I've worked a little bit on this one. This is a Heart and Hand sampler. This is also by Brenda Gervais. And there is the chart. And I'm doing this on a 35 count dove. So, but I did start it. No, it is 1/2. So here's my start. And I think last time I talked about this, I had realized that I really could have started it this way. So I did restart it. It's right here and you really can't see it, but so that's a start and a restart. It's still a whip. The next one, these are all bunnies. So these are things that I worked on this spring. And this one is, I finished a lot of bunny stuff, but I didn't quite get this one done. This one is called Honey Bunny. And I don't have the chart. I don't have the chart cover with me. So Honey Bunny and its Artful Offerings. And I am doing it using the Called for Colors, which are right here. I think I bought this as a kit, either from like Country Sampler or from somewhere. I can't remember where. Because it came with the backing and it came with the floss. So there's the backing for that. The next one I'm going to show you, I also don't have the cover. All I have is my working copy, but it is a La-Di-Da. And the name of it is, I don't know the name of it. Does it show it on here? It doesn't show the name, but basically it's the bunny will be right here and it's ABCs all the way down. And I will look at that name and I will put it down below. I'm actually stitching this on a Fiddler's Aida, which is an 18 count, and it's light oatmeal, and I coffee tea dyed it to give it a little bit more rustic look. So that's that whip, and I have lost count, so I'm hoping that you all are counting along and helping keep track. I'm going to go back and count these when I rewatch the video for editing. So there's those two. The next one I have in this really pretty spring summer looking project bag that has things that look like watermelons but aren't. This is another La-Di-Da, and this is the 2 Rabbit sampler. And I am doing this using the Called for DMC, and I'm doing it on a 40 count Weeks straw. Again, this is the old Weeks, and there's the colors and there's my progress. And boy, aren't those colors pretty? I really love those colors. I can't wait to use that blue. That's the top border, is where that blue will be used. Not till next spring, we'll pick these up again and work on them. And the last one is also a La-Di-Da. Lori Markovic does fantastic bunnies. And this is being done on I think it's a color and cotton. It's a kind of an unusual color. It's called Dried Sage. And I'm still not sure about this color. I mean, I'm going to put something behind it. I love the linen, but I'm just wondering if it really works with that gold colored bunny. So this is what the chart looks like. Yeah, this is my working copy. So there's the chart. B is for bunny. And like I said, this is a color and cotton. And these are the called for colors. So I think the gold kind of looks cool on the linen, but I'm not so sure. I'll probably stick with it. It will probably be fine once I get the whole bunny there. But there's kind of a close-up of how it's looking. So those are my spring bunny stitches, and I think that is all. Nope, I've got one more here for spring/summer. This one is called A Bit of Spring. This one, A Bit of Spring. Ooh la la, that's what it is. I knew there were some laws in there. So this is my start on Ooh La La. I don't have a color picture, but this is what the stitch is. So these are all French inspired. And then I finished the little one. There's a little pen drum also in the Ooh La La, and that's complete. So these are going to go in the French General / Blackbird Design room. So I think that's the last one for my summer spring. Gosh, that seems really light, but I've done a lot of finishes recently, so maybe that's all I really have left in my WIPs. So I'm going to clear up this pile and I will be right back. Real quick, that last one is titled A Little Bit of French. I am so out of practice for doing a WIP parade. Okay, so next up is like Halloweenish fall. And the next one up is a Blackbird Design, and it is Away We Ride. So here, I'm doing this on a 30 count weeks, which I believe is the call for, and I'm using the call for colors. This is such a pretty stitch. I don't have, this is my working copy. I don't have the color copy here. And I have this, I'm starting to get in my really pretty project bags. I have this in my Raven project bag with its matching thread bag. So there we go on that one. After that, I have a, let's see here. This is also in a pretty project bag. One of my favorites, this is Kansas Troubles fabric. This is a Plum Street, and it is Friends of the Heart. And here is my progress. And I am stitching this on a 36 count Wren, and I am using the called for colors. And these ones in the bags, the thread gets a little smooshed. But it is so pretty. I can't wait for this one to be done and hung on the wall. The next one is a really old one. It's one of my oldest WIPs. And this was a stitch along when I first started cross stitching. It's in a small little bag here. I think this is one we did with Priscilla and Chelsea. And it's Little House Needleworks Pumpkin Hollow Farm. And I think I'm going to probably only do the top half of that chart. It looks to be about a 32 count. It's some type of Zweigart. I'm not sure the color, but that's the only progress I have on that. But I think it's super cute. The next one, oh, this one is so pretty. This is also in a Raven bag. This Raven bag is a little bit different than the other one. And this is, it's a Murder of Crows. I don't have the cover sheet. All I have is my working copy. It's a la-di-da. So a Murder of Crows. There's 3 charts. I have one done. I don't think I even have the other 2 started. And I'm doing these on, I know I have the tag here. I'm doing these on a vintage, 32 count vintage sand dune, but this is the one I do have complete. It is so pretty. The colors are just yummy, 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 yummy. I love the colors. Let me put them up here. So those should be pretty quick stitches. So when I'm in the mood for doing some fall stitching, I think I'll knock those out. Usually I start my fall stitching probably about the end of August. I might even start earlier than that. If it's particularly hot and I'm looking forward to cooler weather, I will definitely get them started earlier. Oh, the next one, long tail. If you've been watching me a while, you kind of know the tail. This was a birthday start for me. I don't remember how many years ago. Several years ago. It's autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. And this is a Kathy Barrick. And I have started and pulled out and restarted this 5 times. Do I have a new start on this one? I don't think I do. I think my holdup, I've decided my holdup is, so I hand dyed this fabric. And because I wanted it the specific shade of blue, which has now, several dyers have come out with something similar. But it's a 36 count. And I was not liking how the black was looking on it. So no, I haven't restarted it. I may just bite the bullet and I might just go and get some, what is it? The thread that's kind of like 1.5 threads. Sulky. I may go get some sulky just for the black and restart this. But these are the threads. This is a color conversion. Christy Across Hatch is the one who told me about it, but I don't think she's the one who did the conversion. But anyway, so I still consider it a whip because I've started it so many times. It's in this beautiful project bag that I made. Maybe I'll get started on it again for a new birthday start. I've got a big birthday coming up this year. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll do something else. I'm not sure. The next one is a pretty old whip as well. It is Plum Street Autumn Fractor. There is the chart. Probably like a flax or something like that. But this is a white art. But here is my progress on this one. It's so pretty. But that bird, I'll tell you, that bird took some stitching. Here is the called for flosses. And that one I'm also really looking forward to getting up on my wall. I'll probably be hanging this up in my living room, and I think I can hang that up all year round because it really does match my decor. I have it in my very favorite project bag that's getting quite a lot of use. It's my Owl project bag, and this is the thread bag that goes with it. Next one up, I think this is probably the 3rd Raven bag that I have. They're all a little bit different. This one has an orange interior. And this is an itty bitty teeny tiny start of the first Winds of Autumn. It is a Blackbird design. Mine is from, I got it as a kit. I think it was a Dying to Stitch kit. Yes, it was, because here's the threads and here's the tag, and I just have an outline start. That's it. Got a thread hanging here. Is there a needle attached? Don't know. No. So that's my start. So it's on the called for, it's Vintage Beeswax, 36 count Vintage Beeswax by R&R, which of course is the fine ladies at Dying to Stitch, Pat and Ann. And that's my start on that one. The next one is a start I did at the very end of the year, the fall season last year. I really had wanted to start it and just get it going for this coming season. And the stitch is Stacy Nash, House of Berries Chapel Road, Turkey Hollow Farm. I really, really love that. It's beautiful. It's in my turkey bag. Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. This is what my Grateful, Thankful, Blessed was in before I finished that last year. And I have a matching little mini bag to go with it. So I'm doing this on, I know I have it here. It looks like I'm on a 36 count Weeks Beige, which is one of my favorite colors. And there's my progress. I just got started on it. It's going to be so lovely though. This is probably one that I will pick up early in the fall stitching season and see if I can get it done. I think it's a little ambitious because that's a lot of stitching. That house is a lot of stitching, but we'll see. It might be my focus piece. I usually, during the holiday season, both for fall and for Christmas, I usually have one focus piece that I really want to get done for the season that I've started the season before. This is a prairie schooler. It's the turkey. It's the small turkey. You can kind of sort of see, I'm not sure which part of the turkey that is. I'm stitching this on a 30 count weeks gray. That's, I think I have enough to do 2, and it's going to be a little pin pillow. But I'm going to do the whole set. It's the chart that's the Thanksgiving chart, and it has the turkey, and it has, it's a long chart. If I can find a picture of it, I will post it up here. But I plan on stitching them all together. I already have my thread ring for the entire set. And there's the colors. Don't they look wonderful together? So that's what that is. I make a working copy of everything I do because I end up highlighting on them. I write all over them. And so I've just made a habit of, it's part of my kitting up process. I get my bag, I get my floss, I get my chart, I make a working copy of the chart, I go put the other one away in my storage, and I keep the working copy in my bag. So I think that is it for the Halloween fall set. I think I did all of those that were hanging as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back in the bag so I don't lose anything, and I will be right back. Okay, we're getting into the big stuff now. We're getting into the Christmas stitches, and I've unclipped all of the ones that are hanging, and then I have a stack about this big of ones that are still in the project bags. So first one up, Christmas Whips, Winter Wonderland, Blackbird design. This is unfortunately an out of print chart, and it was loaned to me by a good friend. And I started this at the very end of the last season. It's being stitched on a 30 count, is that right? A 30 count weeks gray. I think that is right. I love this stitch. I cannot wait for this one to be done. It is so pretty. I enjoyed stitching on it when I did. Again, it was, I think I started after Christmas when I was still in the Christmas stitching mood. Because I started a ton of stuff last year. So I'm looking forward to picking that one up again, and it's in one of my older project bags. And I love this one. There's going to be a ton that I'm going to be very excited to pick up again once the winter stitching starts. So that's one. The next one up is an older Little House Needleworks. It's called the North Wind. I have another stitch that's already completed that I'm going to hang these together, and I've kind of mixed the colors between the two. And this is what I have done on this. This is a 30 count. I'm almost sure it's a 30 count. No, it's a 28 count smoky pearl. Well, I really can't read that. Smoky pearl. It's a cashel. I don't often stitch on a cashel. It's not bad to stitch on. And it's really, oops, here, let me put that up there. It's not going to be a stitch that takes too long, and I really should just knock it out, get it done so I can get those hung together. And I have that in this project bag. The next one, I love these. They're very intense. It's by a designer, Sarah, I think she's Italian. Let me put my glasses on here. Sarah Garamani. This is the stitch, and it's called Waiting for Christmas. I have about 4 of her designs, and they are intense designs. They're a lot to stitch. I'm doing this on a 36 count vintage country mocha. I only have one little house done. They're going to be quite big. This is the thread. I'm using the called for DMC, but they are so pretty when they're done. So that's on the list. I don't know when I'll get back to this one. I really love it, but there are so many other things I have in front of it that I want to get done. Such as this next one. This is Christmas at Hollyberry Farm, Stacy Nash. It's a beautiful, beautiful stitch. I am doing this on a 36 count vintage, Lakeside Vintage Pearl Barley, probably my favorite linen. This is my start. I had just started, I was getting going on this, and anybody who stitched any of Stacy's borders that are like this know that they're tedious. They're tedious to stitch, but I had finally figured out a stitch path that was working, so it wasn't quite so tedious, and I wasn't having to rip out every single leaf. But I probably forgotten it. Hopefully I'll remember when I go back to start stitching. But there is the floss, and you can see that's just going to be so pretty. So pretty. I know I have very little over here, and I'll have just as little over there when I get to it, but this was the perfect piece of linen to do this on. So I'm playing border chicken, and that's okay. I just feel sorry for the framer who's going to frame that for me. The next one up is the Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs. And I did change my colors up on this. I wasn't, the Calico Kitty was really pretty, but at the time that I picked up my colors, it was so light and so pink. It just wasn't going to give me the, itchy nose, Flosstube nose. It wasn't going to give me the contrast that I was looking for. So I changed my colors. I am stitching this on, do I have it on here? Again, one of my older stitches, so I didn't put it on there. I'm pretty sure that this is a 40 count, and I believe it is, I know it's a Lakeside. It's a 40 count vintage pecan butter, I believe. But that is my progress. Here is my floss. And if you're curious, the colors that I chose, because there's only a few, I chose Forest Glade for the green, Briar Rose for the red, Log Cabin, which happens to be a Victoria motto, for the dark brown, and Heirloom Gold for the gold. So that's my version. I would really like to get going more on this. Hopefully I'll get some more knocked out this season. I don't know that it's going to be a focus piece. I don't think it will be. And again, one of my older project bags. I really love this. I don't remember what that fabric is. I think it's an old Thimbleberries. And then the next one that I have hanging up is the Noel Sampler by With a Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I'm doing this on a Vintage Light Exemplar in 40 count. And here's my progress. And I'm using the called for DMC. And this was the first time when I pulled all the colors for this that I really learned to appreciate the DMC colors. Colors on this, because they are just, Brenda's a genius. They are so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to get these hung back up, and then we're going to bring out the big stack of what's in the bag. Okay, we're reaching into the bags now. This one I usually keep hung up. I'm not quite sure why it wasn't hanging up, but it's Winter Rose Manor. And I have it in my beautiful country sampler bag that I made, one for both myself and for Lisa Kinder Stitcher to celebrate our first trip there. And this is my progress on Winter Rose Manor. And this is being done on something that I dyed. It's a 40 count. I don't remember if it's a 36 or a 40 count. It started out as platinum and I over dyed it. So it's got this nice color. I'd say it's a little bit lighter than a light exemplar. And I'm doing this on with the called for colors. Here's my coloring. This is the little doodad that we made during the first Brenda Gervais retreat at the Farm Girl Gatherings. I think it was still called the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat at that time. The next one is a big bag full of a bunch of smaller things, or some of them aren't small, some of them are pretty good size. Let's see what we've got in the bag. We've got a bunch. Okie dokie. Oh, this is Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. And I'm doing this on a 36 count. Is it a 36 or 40? I think it's 36. Nope, it's 40. 40 count beige by Weeks. And I'm using the call for DMC. And I have a small start on that. The next one is, well, those are some charts of other starts that I want to do. The next one is, do I have it here? I don't have it here. This is a Carriage House / Kathy Barrick, and it's Reindeer Feed Sack. I don't have the chart in front of me. This is my start. It's on the gingham, 28 count gingham tin roof, Weeks. That's going to be so pretty. These are the colors. There's only 2. The next one is, excuse me, the next one is a Stacy Nash. And I don't have the chart. It's the Merry Christmas Pen Keep. I don't have the picture. It's the Merry Christmas Pen Keep. And I'm doing this on a 32 count mystery linen that I coffee tea dyed. And I'm doing it in DMC 221. Another one that I'm working on that I started last year. This is called Candy Cane Lane. So there it is, Candy Cane Lane. Really cute. And it's being done on the called for 40 count natural with a silver sparkle by Fabric Flare. And I've got a lot of threads hanging off here. So this is the start. You can kind of see the sparkle there. And these are the called for. This next one is a stitch along that I'm doing with my local Stitchers group. I'm going to kind of describe it here. What we're doing is we've pulled 4 Prairie Schooler Santas. There's one with the sewing machine, one with a quilt, one with knitting needles, and one with cross stitch. And we're stitching them all together. And I'm behind in the stitch along, as I usually am, because I'm a start along person, not very successful as a stitch along person. But I'm stitching mine on a Seraphim Forest Floor. This is a piece that I picked up when I was in, oh golly, I think it was a girls' weekend. And here's my start. And these are the colors, the typical Prairie Schooler Santa colors, except I always use Cosmo 245 for my red and Cosmo 926 for my green. So that's my start. I need to get cracking on that because 2 of the people in my stitch group are already finished. And the goal is to get it done and framed by the end of the year. So I need to get moving on that. The next one is one of my oldest whips. And this is, let's see, I do. This is Hibernation Day by Heartstring Samplery. And I'm doing it on my own tea dye. Got a thread hanging here. This is my progress. Isn't that pretty? And these are the called for threads. And this is a 28 count, I believe, which I think is what it calls for. Yes, this is a 28 count. And these are the called for floss. So pretty gold, reds, and greens. It's another one I would really like to get done. I should knock it out. It's really not as much stitching as it might seem because they're just a lot of short rows of band. The houses, of course, are going to take a little bit of time, but that might be a focus piece. I'm not sure this year, but I already have a sled put aside that this is going to go on. So I'm looking forward to getting that done. And a log cabin project bag that I made. Okay, I'm going to get that put away and I'll be right back. The next one is one I had fully intended to finish by the end of the season last year, and I did not. This really should be my focus piece this year. And it's In Heaven and Nature Sing by Kathy Barrick. There we go. And I am stitching this on a 32 count vintage maple sugar, another one of my favorite Lakesides. And I've got the big part done. Got the stag or the heart, depending on what you want to call it, done. And these are the called for flosses, all jumbled up here. And I have it in a beautiful fall colored project bag. The next one up is one really old whip that I started and didn't like the coverage, and that is One Starry Christmas Eve, Brenda Gervais. This is my progress, and I think I'm way too close to this, so I'm going to turn it over and start again. And this is on a I think it's the call for. It is a 36 count Aztec red by Weeks. The next one up is something I started last year. I love this. This is one of my other favorite Weeks colors, and it's the 12 Days of Christmas by Stacy Nash. This is my progress. And I'm doing it on the called for 30 count Weeks putty. And I'm using the called for colors. I believe those are my general whips. I have also an ongoing bag of Prairie Schooler Santas. So there's a whip in there of Prairie Schooler Santa. Here's several of my other Prairie Schooler Santas. And these are being done on a 30 count raw linen using the call for colors except for the Cosmo colors that I mentioned earlier on the other Santa. So that's an ongoing whip. I'm not going to count this as one, even though this is a ginormous bag, because I do intend on stitching every Prairie Schooler eventually. This whip, I can't show you. I have to put a picture up here. This is something off of my Teresa Kogut Patreon, and it's called A Sweet Song. It's actually a snowman, and this is the part I've gotten done so far. So that's actually a broom. And I'm doing this on a Picture This Plus Fathom 36 count. It's like a little piece that I had. It's really pretty. I think it's going to be gorgeous because most of what you're going to see here is like a white snowman right there. So I think that is it for my Christmas samplers. And I have a big pile here to tidy up, and I will return momentarily. All right, so I just took a quick peek to see how long the video was so far, and it looks like it's getting close on to an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour, and I still have just as many whips to show you that are my samplers. So my sampler whips are as equal to all of my seasonal whips, probably even more. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video shorter than it is. And I'm going to make the sampler whip parade next time. So thanks again for watching. Make sure you keep count because in the next video, I think I'll have a really great giveaway for the count, the total count. And I am going to count things that I consider whips, even if they were start overs or if they were just had a few stitches in it. So if I called it a whip, it's a whip. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care, stay cool as you can, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.